Hey up YouTube, I bet you can't guess where I am. Yeah, that's right, Scarborough. No, I'm kidding. Back at Bonkers Bank again. I am determined to get you a Smooth Hound on film. I know you've seen pictures of me catching them, but this YouTube isn't about pictures, is it? I'm not an Instagram page. Anyway. So I've come back down. There's a few people, there is a couple coming down tonight, but I'm really early. Why? Because I need to sort my box out because it's a mess. And well, yeah, it's going to be an on-y, offy, filmy, wheel-me, timey-wimey thing. Purely and simply because this was very, I know I always say they're impromptu, but this one was very impromptu. I wasn't coming at all. In all fairness, and in the interest of honesty, which I always strive to be, I didn't think I could afford to come fishing today. Reason being for me to come and do a video, or to come and fish. Let's forget about the video for the time being. But to come and fish, for me, if nothing else, it's 20 quid in fuel. So, and at the moment, having just had a burn and just changing jobs, going from weekly to monthly pay, as I'm sure a lot of you will have experienced in the past, going from weekly to monthly pay is a killer. We were thinking, oh, it's all fine and dandy, and then the missus's work screwed up her maternity pay. So, yeah, it's been a bit of an issue, but I managed to get rid of some old furniture and things, bits and pieces, and got a little bit more than I thought we were going to get for it. So I thought, bugger it, I'll come fishing. Once again, no argument from the missus. So yeah, here I am. So I've come down a bit early. Tide's not till 10:30, but and this is going to sound, you know, like it's an excuse for not catching, but for me, fishing isn't just about actually fishing. For me, there's very few nicer places to be than on a beach on a nice evening. Or at the side of the sea on a nice evening. Doesn't necessarily have to be on a beach. I'm equally as happy at the estuary or on the wall. It's about a bit of well-being for me as much as anything else. And my thoughts are out there with a few of the guys that I like to go fishing with. One in particular, you know who you are. Couldn't be with us tonight for reasons of his own welfare, mental welfare, shall we say. I'm not going to name names, you know who you are. My thoughts are with you. I do wish you could be here with me tonight, but I do understand. We all have demons. Unfortunately, some have them worse than others. So, yeah, back down on Bonkers Bank. There was a couple of reasons I had no intention of coming filming back here again. One was the money. Two was the fact that by the time I could get back out, it was saying the conditions weren't going to be great. But then this afternoon, the weather forecast and the wind forecast all changed. So, here we are. here we are. I am only casting out one rod tonight, and I am only casting out, I've got two pulley pennels rigged up, standard pulley pennels, nice, cheap, easy to cast. I've made them on a short snood, so they're quite small. In fact, here's one here. I couldn't find my trident tackle, a little bit gutted. I do like, oh, it's locked, frozen again. Give me a sec, guys. I don't know where that cut off. But yeah, I'm using two pulley pennels, just one ready to go and one out. Using Gemini gear on this one because as much as I do like my trident gear, I could not find it. So I've got a Gemini pulley. I like Gemini swivels. Got a 1.0 specimen extra from Cox and Roll, a 2.0 specimen extra from Cox and Roll, and then an imp. And yeah, once again, I have said before, I have been criticised for putting an imp on and then using an impact lead. It's personal preference at the end of the day, isn't it? I know a lot of guys who absolutely despise the impact lead. They say it fails 9 out of 10 times. I've used it a few times as an impact lead. Didn't have any failures, but that's just my experience. So let's back me onto the sea. So Matthew, you're able to see it a little bit, aren't you? So the sea is quite a way out. I'm off to, if the bench is at your back, I'm off to the right of it a little bit. Reason being is I'm shooting for, because my casting isn't that great. God, that's really weird to point at. There's a pool. See, when I look down my hand, I'm pointing, it's there, but when I look on the screen, it's like there. There's a pool there. I'm not liking the big clumps of weed that are in it. And I'm going to have a walk down there in a minute and have a look at it. But I'm going to be shooting for that or off to the left of this sandbar, which has actually moved quite a lot. Actually, you know what? I might move left a little bit. I'm going to move left a little bit because I'm not as far away from the sandbar as I thought I was. So I am going to move left a little bit. I'll see you in a sec, guys. I'm going to get the move done. And hopefully we'll still have some daylight to do a bit more talking. So yeah, I just moved about maybe 10, 15 feet, a bit further down, and just on the edge of the sandbank. So I will be casting off to the left. Hopefully to be sort of perpendicular to that pool. I don't even know if I'm in shot. But I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm set up, I'm ready. I'm gonna bait these up with a bit of squid, because I do have some crab. Managed to get some peeler crab. Whether it's going to make a difference, whether the smoothies are going to be out there, I don't know. Am I edging my bets? Yes. But this is probably going to be my last opportunity to film down here before the water gets a little bit too cold and they move back off. We've got, I mean, technically speaking, they probably are here until the end of September, but yeah, the more experienced guys say end of August, and we are smack dab at the end of August. So I don't really want to be pushing expensive baits out when my chances are reduced anyway because of the season. I'm very disappointed in how rough that sea is. The wind is next to non-existent, so I'm hoping it's just because it's on the flood. The wind is blowing directly at me, however, but there is so very little of it, it shouldn't cause any major issues. The lads that I know of that are coming down tonight, there's Danny and Kurt, and they should be here sometime soon. Sorry, got distracted. And I think this is actually the first time I've been here when and actually on the beach when the tide was as low as it is. And I've noticed a lot more snag hazards than I ever have before. Right in front of where Danny was casting the other night, there's what looks like the ribs of a wreck. Obviously there's the rocks that we know about just here, which is kind of why I want to situate myself between this channel and the rocks, because those rocks always are filled with crabs. So I'm hoping that, you know, they're coming round the sandbank and sort of either going left off to the rocks where the crabs are, or coming down into this channel here. Who knows? I mean, when darkness falls, I've got no idea where I'm casting, so I might try some of those luminous weights come winter on the wall, just to see. So see weights, actually, if you're watching this, if you want to have a bit of a review, get in contact. My email's on my About page on YouTube. You know, something, you know, I'll say the same as I've always said on my gardening YouTube channel. If somebody sends me something, the only thing I ever ask is that I give an honest review, and if they have an issue with me doing that, then I won't review it. So if a company wholeheartedly stands behind its product, it shouldn't have an issue with me saying, right, okay, this is crap, or it's really not for my purpose, or it's really good, or, you know, whatever. So just bear that in mind if later if I do ever get any sort of requests to review a product that are firm requests. I have been sent stuff already, but the people that sent it to me either wanted to remain anonymous or just wanted it to be in a video but didn't want a review, and everything I have actually been sent I've really liked and I've really got on with, and it's helped me in one way or another. So the bait makes, for example, great piece of kit, really is a great piece of kit. All the breakaway stuff so far that I've tried, brilliant. I've actually got breakaway tip lights going on tonight, so we'll see what that's like. I've got a blue, a green and a red. The red I've used before, the blue and the green are new. However, breakaway, although I don't think it's breakaway's fault, one of them, the battery didn't work. So I shall be nipping back to the shop where they were dispatched from to say, oh, they were sent and they don't work, so come on. Anyway, yeah, so if, you know, sorry, ranted on a bit there about endorsements. I will review products, but it will be an honest review, and it's as simple as that. If I think it's crap, or if it's just not for me, I may ask somebody else if they want to give it a go, if they think it's good, and it could be something, it could be user error on my part. Anyway, if you've got through all this ranting, can I just ask, if you've made it through all of that rant, all this first 10-20 minutes, however long it is, do press that subscribe button, do press that like button, and do get involved in the conversation in the comments below. I always try and respond. I'm going to sit down and have a coffee in a minute because I put a video out this morning. The comments have been coming in on it quite thick and fast, and I've not responded to any of them yet. So I'm just going to take 10 minutes just to sit and respond to those comments. Does this light, I've just realised I've strapped this light on and I'm not sure if it actually works. It does. Hopefully that might actually illuminate the tip rod a little bit for you guys, because I've not bought my big front floodlights like I normally do. So, but on a beach they kind of don't work. On the wall there's lots of stuff that like to bounce back off, so yeah, they kind of don't work on the beach. So filming on the beach is something that is very, very tricky. I've got a little light, but it only gives me light for about an hour, so I have to be selective when I use it. Anyway, I'm going to sit down, have a cup of coffee, respond to these comments, and I'll see you again probably at first cast which at the rate at which it's coming in, we're 3 hours away from high. It's gonna be about half an hour to an hour, so I'll see you in a bit. Well, it's far too early, but I'm gonna send one anyway. I brought some squid just for this purpose, but the pro fishermen are here now, look. Got Kurt and Danny, the pros, so I'm just gonna send it. If nothing else, it's just gonna wet my line down a little bit, which will help me out later on. Pockets full of stuff. It's actually a bit cold tonight, a bit colder than I thought it was going to be. I wish I brought a bigger coat. Oh, am I ringing? Hang on a sec, guys. Mrs. said, can I have one of your beers? Of course you can. Right, yeah, I'm just going to wet the line down, so I'm just going to send it. Don't expect anything to come of this, but warm up my casting arm a little bit. Don't really expect anything to come of it, other than, like I said, to wet my line down. But who knows, the water's a little bit bassy, we'll let it soak. You know what, while the sun's up, shall we have his first time lapse? Yeah, let's have his first time lapse while the sun sets, eh? Darkness. Oh, you can't see anything at all. Up a little bit. So darkness has obviously officially fallen. You should just be able to see up there the tip light. I'm not sure if this makes life any better for you guys. I don't know. I can't tell. I'll be able to tell in edit. I'm getting knocks. I don't know what's going on out there. Not pulling in masses of weed. So my next bait's going to be a crab, which is a lot earlier than I intended. I just had some real difficulty casting out. Real difficulty casting out. I might have to go back onto the monospool. I found actually a big knot and I couldn't get it out on the beach, so I might have to go back onto the monospool. I'm gonna have one more go at casting this, if it screws up again. It could be that I've put that tip light bracket on too far forward, I don't know. But if it screws up again, I'll change it. But I'm gonna check out, see what's going on with this now, because it's bouncing quite a lot. Although we have got some large breakers out there now. Don't know where the breakers are coming from because there's no wind. Let's see if I can get you a better shot at the tip light so that it shows better. Give me a sec. So that you might actually be able to see the movement there. I know you're looking at a tiny dot on a video, but it is what it is. See if that helps at all. Does that make it more visible for you? Not really. Like I say, it's going to be a stoppy-starty video tonight, guys, because once darkness falls on the beach, it's really hard to film unless you've got a lot of lights, and I don't have a lot of lights. There's something going on with that. I don't think there's been a take on it, but there's something going on with it. Whether there's weed online or what, I don't know. But I'm going to bring it in and change it anyway. It's been out a good 10-15 minutes, which is longer than I wanted. We're 2 hours away from high, just under 2 hours away from high. But I want to see if it messes up again on the cast. Oh, it's just cracked off again. I just felt it go lead light. So I don't know whether something's had me line, but I'm gonna have to change back over to the mono. The one good thing about mono and how the beach is at the moment, it's like I said, the breakers are breaking pretty hard actually. Sorry, I'll turn the light on. Hello. Yeah, for some reason this surf has just come out of nowhere. There's no wind, so I don't know what it's doing. It must just be because we're on a shallow tide. But the best thing about going back over to this mono is I can see it and it's taking out a lot of the tide noise. But anyway, I'm going to shut the camera off, turn the batteries, change the batteries, and I'll see you shortly. I'm going to turn off my headset as well, my earphones as well. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay. Well, sit rep. Had 2 bait changes. Nada. Although the last hook that I brought in, to me, looked as though, sorry, I don't mean to look at the camera, but to me, it showed signs of something. There was definitely something had gone on with it. As far as I can gather, none of us have had anything yet. The sea is very rough, but it's only very rough. I don't know, I can't really see, but it looks as though it's only very rough, maybe 10 yards out, but I can't see beyond that. I might have to go and have a word with Danny, turn on his big torch and just have a look how if the sea is flat further out. I really wish actually, I mean if this was the middle of the day, I'd have the bass rod and I'd be spinning in that, the little spinning rod, because it is, the breakers, they're in quite shallow but they're massive. So from what I understand, that could be okay for fishing a breaker, fishing a spinner for bass. Is my microphone turned on? Yes, it is. I'm actually hoping that that last bit that I recorded without the microphones turned on, that you could actually hear the sea, because it sounds wild, but it's really not. It's really, really not. I think the only problem I'm having is the waves are hitting my line that hard. I think it's lifting the lead. I think. I don't know. It's a lovely evening. It's lovely and warm. I've got my coffee. We're not being right sociable tonight, I will admit. We've kind of all just plonked our asses down and fish, and we're all fishing. But I think we're all trying to sort of make the best of what is pretty much the end of the season for this particular mark for the smoothies. It then becomes another sort of flatty mark until the cod season picks up, and apparently it fishes okay for cod. I may come down here in the cod season if we get a particularly high tide, because I'd love to fish. Apparently you can get tides that are high enough that you fish up at the bench, sat in the hut. I think if you brought a little bit of firewood down with you, I think that'd be a lovely evening. Be a bit chilly, but I think it'd be a lovely evening. It's pointless me putting you on the rod because you can't see a goddamn thing. So I'm going to go back to sort of on and off with situational updates. This is fishing, guys. This is real fishing. This is not... Oh. This is not catching. This is fishing. This is not me spending 3 days on a beach and piecing it together in one video. This is real fishing. It will be if I blank again today, I think this will be the 4th blank in a row. But it is what it is. I appreciate the supportive comments. I don't know if I come across as a little bit down when I blank. And I suppose really every fisherman is a little bit down when he blanks. But I'm not upset, I'm not devastated by it. Obviously it's always nice to catch a fish, but as I have said time and time again, it is just nice to be out. It's nice to be out with the lads. Speaking of, there's a message I want to put out there. I've spoken to quite a few subscribers today, quite a few followers, quite a few people on Facebook. And I just want to say, guys, it is okay to not be okay. We all have demons, we all have issues. We all have things that we have to deal with. I've been there and I've experienced a lot. Never be afraid to reach out, and if I can be there for somebody, I will. I'm a busy man, don't get me wrong, but if I can make the time for somebody, I will. The message is clear, the message is strong, lads. It is okay not to be okay. All right? Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't hide behind vague Facebook statuses. Don't put a fake smile on. Talk. Pick up the phone to somebody. It's okay. Nobody's going to think less of you. And that is, or should be, guys, it should be a very powerful message. I know there's lasses out there that watch these videos as well, but I feel as though there's a lot of fellas out there who think it's not okay to ask for help. They think that it's going to make them less of a man, and it is not the case. You're not a snowflake for asking for help. You're an idiot if you don't, and you sit and suffer in silence. Because you're not going to get any better, and your situation is not going to get any better. Anyway, strong, poignant message out of the way. It just resonated with me today, having spoken to so many of you that clearly, well, I'm not going to say clearly need help, but clearly have problems, and they're problems that don't need to be dealt with alone. Anyway, back to the fishing. Nothing's going on. I'm going to give it another half hour and I'll go speak to the lads, I think. I don't know. Like I said, I can't tell what's going on with the sea. It's that dark out there. I can't tell. If those breakers, that perhaps you can hear, if those breakers are only 10 yards out, I don't see why this shouldn't be fishing. But it may be that they are further out, you know. We've got considerably less water than we've been used to recently. It's only a 6'2", we've been fishing 7'2". That extra 3 feet of tide equates to another 10-15 feet out where you're fishing. Which makes a world of difference. If the fish ain't there, you can't catch them, can you? Especially if you're only fishing for one particular type of fish, and you're only baited for one particular type of fish, and if they ain't there, it ain't gonna happen. But we will persevere. We've still got a couple of hours left, I think. Time wheel. Oh, I'm too used to putting my phone in my left pocket. We're just about 20 minutes away from high tide. And this mark is best known for an hour either side. So we're not going to get much fishing done on the ebb because it's a lower tide. Obviously there's no wind holding the tide in. I mean, the wind is completely gone. There's nothing. It's dead still is the wind. So God knows where these breakers are coming from. I don't know how the sea works, but hopefully it'll calm down on the ebb and we'll get some fishing in. Because we're not at slack yet. We're still 20, maybe even 40 minutes away from slack water. So the main problem I'm having is I'm casting off to the left, and it's swinging me around to the right. And round to the right is not where I want to be. That's the main issue I'm having at the moment. So I'm having to reposition, and that's costing me bait. So I'm not too happy about that. But it is what it is. I'm going to turn off, guys, just to conserve light, and I'll speak to you in a bit. Oh, don't forget, scary, important male bonding messages aside, like, share and subscribe, yeah? It really does help me out, and I really do appreciate it. I'll see you later. Okay, well, sit rep is, Danny's pissed off because he's had flounders, and he's chasing bass, really. I mean, he's using ragworm, but he's chasing bass because he's got some bigger hooks on, and he keeps landing these little flounders. Me and Kurt just went down to see him. He had this quite hard knock. Pulled it in. Little fucking flounder. Piddly little thing it was. His hook were almost as big as it. No, it wasn't that small. Still no action on the rods, on either Kurt or myself. The hound hunters. Oh, that's a big one. I think Blaine's walking down the beach. Somebody's walking down the beach, I think. Just check my messages a sec. So I'm just baiting up another crab, baiting up another bait. I'll cut this one in half, I think. What time are we on? We're on 10:30, so we're at high tide. Hopefully the run will calm down a bit once we're on the ebb. You're a big boy. Chop you in half. I've not got my chopping board. Don't tell the missus you saw me cut a crab on my knee. You know when you get that sort of inkling that your rod moved while you weren't looking at it? I just got that. But I'm still really struggling to cast tonight. I think it's just going to be one of them days for me. But we will persevere. I don't think I'm getting the distance that I normally get. There's no wind, I've no excuse for it, other than I just don't seem to be able to cast tonight. It's just me. Although I'm not, I'm trying different techniques, or I'm trying to work on my technique. And working on it at night time, really, I suppose, isn't the best idea, because you can't really see what you're led and, what everything's doing. So, 3. So it's not the best time to be working on casting technique, I suppose, but it is what it is. So there's not a great deal going on. There is somebody walking down the beach. I wonder if it is Blaine. He said he was going to come and see us. Lost his car in Doncaster apparently, so couldn't make it out with us, but said he might come and see us. We shall see in about 5 minutes when whoever it is gets here. Oh, and you've crashed again. I have no idea how much footage I just have or haven't got. The camera froze after about 2.5 minutes and I didn't spot it. So I'll go through what I've said again. Sit rep. Danny's pulling in flounders on hooks that are far too big, so he's peed off. Kurt and I have had not so much as a sniff. Now the sun's up. Now the moon's up, I can tell you that it is pretty flat calm once you get past about 10-15 yards out. I've just sent a new bait, so I'm going to have another cup of coffee. We are now on the ebb. I only plan on fishing till about 11:30, 12 o'clock. Hopefully that means that I can get home in time to get some dinner. I'm very hungry, not had anything to eat. I might have to message the missus, see if she's still awake, see if she'll order a kebab for me for when I get back. Although if it turns up before I get back, she's in issues. She's got issues because I've got the cash in my pocket. I don't really fancy going to a kebab shop in Cleethorpes because it's Friday night and it'll be around midnight, so it'll be full of ass hats and I will stink of fish. Although I suppose in Cleethorpes, smelling of fish and crabs is standard. I'll not finish that, eh? I'm going to have to shut everything off because, like I say, I've got to be aware. Ooh! No, it's just weed. Looks like the weed's back. Ah! Thought Kurt had a fish. I am genuinely struggling with my casting. I need to get this right arm looked at. I need to get into the doctors, get this right arm looked at, find out what's wrong with it, because it is really hurting to lift it above my head. Once I get past about 45 degrees of rotation, it really hurts. And then if I overextend, the whole arm just goes into, like, it hurts and it just goes dead. I have no control, it's just dead weight. For a minute or two, and then it comes back. So this shoulder I used to be able to dislocate on command, so I don't know if I've got whether it's popped out and not gone back in properly at some point in my sleep or something like that. I don't know, but it really hurts. What was I going to ask? Can't remember. I know I was going to sort of say, you know, this is definitely it for me on the bench now, at least on the Smooth Hound hunt. I'm going to have some time away from the bench now. Probably won't actually get out fishing for at least another 3 or 4 weeks. But I'm hoping actually to perhaps be able to get up Bridway with Alf is the hope. We'll have to see. But if you know of any particularly good marks that fish through late September, early October, please do let me know, either through Facebook or in the comments below this video. Especially if it's a mark where I can perhaps come out and fish. If it's your local mark, perhaps I can come out and fish with you and you can show me the ropes of that mark. But yeah, please do. I would like to know sort of where to consider going until for the next couple of months while cod season really starts to take off. Cod season takes off around here roughly mid to late November. So yeah, please do. I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers. There has been quite a few in the last few days. I honestly don't know why, because I've done nothing but blank for weeks on my videos. But please do, I do welcome you. I promise you that there is the occasional fish. Usually when I'm not filming. But tonight there's just one hell of a run on the water. One hell of a run. I think if I'd have sent some squid or some rag and on some smaller hooks, I could have had a good night. Fish-wise, I wouldn't have had what I wanted, and I really sound defeatist, don't I? I've got another hour or so left yet. And I don't mean to sound defeatist. But when you've sat on a beach for 3.5 hours with not even so much as a sniff, I think you've a right to be a little bit peed off, haven't you? Don't get me wrong, I know it happens, as I mentioned earlier in the video. This is fishing, not catching. Where's the water? Well, it's not gone zooming out just yet. The water is a bit shallow tonight. We're about 10-15 yards further down the beach than we normally would be at high water, so it is a bit shallow. I'm going to do about another half an hour with the camera out, because I'm not going to have much time left on the light. So I'm going to do another half an hour. I'll do another couple of chucks. If nothing else comes in, I'm probably going to sign off. But as always, what I'll do is I'll keep the camera out, and if I catch something, I can turn the camera on. But I need to conserve the light and the battery now, because my battery pack wasn't charged. I can at least film a fish on my box or on the sand with my head torch pointing the camera at it. It would be nice to be able to get me in shot holding it, but it depends on this light. So anyway, I'm going to shut it off now. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, the situation is, it's cold. It's getting very cold. Although to be fair, I thought I'd probably have headed off home by now, having bagged up using peeler crab. Well, I'm going to start tidying up and packing down. I'm not done yet. I'm not packing up fishing. But one of the problems with doing the YouTube videos and having all the extra equipment is how bloody long it takes to pack down sometimes. So I like to pack the camera down a little bit early. I've no idea what's going on with this GoPro tonight. It's been an absolute nightmare. Right, battery cut, just said it just cut off, battery low, but the battery's still reading 45%. So I don't know what's going on. So I'm going to keep this short and sweet. It's just done it again. Terribly sorry, guys. Right, short and sweet. Don't forget, like, share and subscribe. If there's any fish, I'll try and put them in either as a photo or I'll try and catch a quick film. One quick last attempt to say night. Good night, guys. Tight lines, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.